Hey, y'all, and welcome to another episode of the Millennial Management Podcast. I am your host, Brandy, the Millennial Manager, and today is Monday, or I'm sorry, today is Wednesday. If you are listening to this episode, it is Wednesday, January 14th inside of Patreon. If you're listening to this episode on Friday, bitch, it is Friday, January 16th. Okay, so that means you are getting your episodes 2 days late. If your ass is in Patreon, you will be able to listen to this early. It is $6 to join Patreon. Inside of Patreon, not only do you have the community where we go live twice a month. Okay, this coming Saturday is a live Saturday on the 17th. We're going to be going live at 8:30. You get to ask all of your work related questions. We get to talk about anything that you want to talk about. Also, you get the episodes early. So when you're listening to me right now on Friday, bitch, Patreon and already had this, and it's $6 a month. Okay, we can do it. $6. Now, today's episode is going to be an email episode. I have lots of emails, lots of text messages, because you can text us now or text me now. The phone number to text if you have a work related question is going to be 313-242-7662. Again, that is 313-242-7662. It goes directly to my cell phone. So if you have a work related question, send your text messages there. If you would like to send it in an email because you are bougie, and that's okay, you got the time to sit out and type out a full email, you can send that over to the THEE MILL managementpod@gmail.com. All right, bitch. Now, to our first question of the day. This is going to be a text message. They did not tell me who they are, but we'll get started. It says, "Hi, Brandy. Here's my question for consideration for the podcast. Do you have any tips on pivoting out of nonprofit into corporate? I've been working in small nonprofits for about a decade as a program director." Okay, that is not a small feat. That is actually really good. But they're looking to leverage the transferring skills, but they have not had any luck at all. They're trying to achieve that corporate soft life that we talked about on the most recent episode, with a better paying job that won't have the limitations of small nonprofits, like a yearly bonus. Okay, my girl or my friend, Betty. My recommendation when you are applying to navigate outside of nonprofit is to change the way you look at your achievements inside of nonprofit. A lot of nonprofit organizations, you are focused on the people. Okay, not saying that y'all ain't got no money, but y'all are really focused on how many people you help versus how much money you have acquired. So when you are trying to transition to corporate, you need to speak that corporate speak, which is money. All right. They are concerned with how much money can you make us. That's what they're looking at. They're not looking at how many people you helped, how many baseball teams you helped send on a trip, how many fundraisers you were able to collaborate on. They want to know how much money were you able to fundraise for a certain project, how much money were you handling in some of your larger accounts. They want to put it into money. All right. So stop focusing so much on how many people you've helped. While that's great. It's great you were able to do that. But how does that skill transfer into corporate? The main goal of a nonprofit is to support the community, right? You are supporting a specific community, a marginalized community, whatever that is. It is to raise funds for a specific community program. However, within corporate, not only do you have to be able to tell them how you're able to manage very large accounts, you also have to be able to tell them how you are able to maintain and save the company money in certain areas. So what are you good at, right? In my opinion, I really think that as a program director, your best bet would be to look inside of a organization that has operations or logistics. Just because you have already shown that you know how to handle a multi-level platform by you supporting a lot of fundraisers or raising a lot of money, organizing those things, planning out those things. Planning and organizing is operations and logistics. So you have to be able to kind of come from that area, I feel like, to translate your skills that you have acquired there to operations and logistics. I don't know what positions you have been applying for because you didn't tell us, but I definitely feel like that's where you need to go. Okay? All right. Let's find us another question. This one just says, hey, I think they were just checking to see whether or not it's real. It's real, bitch. It's me. I just read it. Let's see. Oh, this one is long. This one says, hello, I've been in my position for 8 years. This is my third time applying for a higher position. My manager was recently let go, which is why I applied for the position, which would make me next in line. I was considered for 2 previous positions due to management already knowing who they wanted to hire, friends, previous employees. I was told by the RVP that I would basically have to audition for this role. She also keeps stressing how this position is so time consuming. It's the hardest position in the company. Even though my numbers and work ethic shows that I'm more capable, and I feel as if she's deterring me or trying to discourage me, she is, because they already know who they want for the position and it's not you. That's why she keeps telling you it's so hard. It's so much work. It's so draining because they already have somebody to work in that fucking position and you're just like tap dancing for no reason, really, because you're not going to get the fucking position. Let's just be really clear. You're not going to get the role, okay? They're just really having to do what they have to do to make it seem like it's a fair process, but they don't want you for the role. Let's see. My question is it normal for companies to make their employees audition or perform for a promotion while still being asked to perform my duties in my current role, which I don't think is right, as I am not getting a fair shot at someone coming off the street who would just jump right into the role that they applied for. Mind you, their culture and motto is to promote within the company, and I've seen where they've promoted others to this same position without asking them to audition. I am constantly being told how great I am doing and I'm such an asset because they know they can pat you on your little head and you be like, okay, I'm doing good. So I'm doing great, daddy, right? Right? I'm doing good. Okay. I'm doing good. Okay. And you're just going to keep piling on responsibility and not really getting a fair shot. No, this shit is not normal. You should not be tap dancing and jumping through fucking hoops for a position. Because if they're going to hire outside of the company, just like you said, Joe Schmo cannot do that because Joe Schmo has another fucking job. Okay, Joe Schmo can entertain them through interviews, but he's not going to come on and do any work and have to really prove himself. They don't want you for the position and they're using you in the interim. Do you understand me, bitch? They don't want you for the role. They're just playing this fucking game to pass time, get somebody to do the position until they find who they're really looking for. That's it. Okay? They're not going to tell you that because why would I tell you that I want to use you? Come on now. Somebody, please. Why would I tell you that? Because it doesn't benefit me to tell you that I want to use you. No, it does not. Okay? All right. Let's go to the next one. This next one says, hey, girl, y'all, please just send your message. It's me. 313-242-7662. Damn. All right. Just to say, hey, I got your phone number off Insta. I know, because I told you. Okay? All right. Let's see. Let's go to our emails because I have a few in the email. All the text messages like, hey, it's me. Hey, y'all put y'all question in there. Damn. It's just told me, yes, it's me. I told you it was me. All right. This is a voicemail. This one says, how do you decline? I'm reading the voicemail, y'all. How do you decline to train a new hire when you aren't in leadership or in a leadership position, nor will they pay you for the training? In my opinion, okay, y'all not gonna like this. I feel like the people who do the job every day, I feel like you're the people who best train in that position. That's my opinion. However, I do compensate. Okay. That's my opinion. If you're not getting compensated, that means they really don't want to do that or they don't have that type of culture where that's something that's done normally. you have to really gauge your environment to see if it's something you can say no to, because saying no sometimes in some corporate settings could really put a target on your back. Or if you say no, it needs to be really creative. Like, hey, I would love to train them, but I feel like Susie is so much better at this than I am. Like, maybe me and Susie can collaborate and I work on this. That way you don't feel the burden of so much of the training, but you also are giving them an alternative. Like, let's not just bum rush me with all this bullshit and try to get me to train somebody. Let's bring in Susie. Let's tag in a couple different people and let's get them trained as soon as possible. That's how I would actually frame it. Is like, we want to really spend time. They get to see everyone. It really works well. Like, that's what I would do. I would say that if you work in an environment where no is not really looked at as an option, right? Because we know, truthfully, there are just some workspaces that you really don't have that type of freedom, right? You don't have that type of freedom to say no. Like today, we had to implement a change in how we verify. So in our managers meeting, I had to explain to them that going forward, instead of doing 3 days of verification ahead of time, we have to do 7 days of verification. And I asked them, I said, okay, like, let me know if this is something that you can do. If it is something that you can do, we can absolutely implement it. But if you feel like you cannot keep up with 7-day requirements or week requirements, let's not do it. Okay. But we all got to be on the same page so that it is the same across all 5 locations. Okay. And everybody agreed. I am a director that likes to listen to the team. Like, I want to know what you can do because they're the people who do the job. Like, I just respect that, and not a lot of people do that. So you have to know what type of environment you work in, and see whether or not it's something that you can really do, right? Because you need to have space to say no. And I'm just being real. I'm just being real for real. Sometimes you do have that space to be like, actually, I don't think I'll be able to train, or I don't think I have the capacity to do that. But sometimes you are in an environment that's voluntold, where you don't really feel like you have that option or have that space to say no, and you feel forced. And then that's not a good feeling either. But I would definitely gauge it, and I would say spread it out. That's how I would start. I would start with spreading it out. Let's all come together and collectively train this person. Everybody has a piece, everybody has a portion, and we can still get our daily tasks done and still make sure that this employee is trained and ready to go. That's how I would frame it. And I hate that your manager is not smart enough to know that. Like, come on, that makes perfect sense. Let's see. Our next one is, we got some pretty good questions today. I am new to your channel. Welcome, bitch. I appreciate that. I work at an insurance firm. However, my goal is not an insurance position, keeping it vague. Okay. So there isn't a clear path on elevation or promotion. Is there a good way to professionally talk or ask for a promotion, or is this unprofessional and gives thirsty? No, but let's keep reading. Background: I'm the youngest on our team. I'm the only Black person on our team. I also appear to have less experience because you're younger, so you don't have as much experience as everybody else. This is only my second job out of college, but I have 2 degrees. I certainly don't want to be in this level forever. Is there a time frame before you think someone is ready for a promotion? This year will make 3 years in this position. Is it too soon? Second question is, I have had this business idea for a position I'd like to create for myself. It's more aligned with my interests and strength, and I think it would really help the company. What are some tips for presenting this to my supervisor? This position I have in mind would require me to totally give up my current position to fulfill this new role. And I'm totally okay with that. I feel like I need an action plan. I feel strongly that we shouldn't be hiring third parties to fulfill duties that our own people could totally do. I am confusion. Do you want a promotion or do you want to start a business? Is everybody else on the same? Like, do you want a promotion to promote and move up inside of your organization, or are you looking to start a business? Let's talk about both of these things because they don't go together. Let's talk about that. I think you have an aspiration for yourself and you are trying to push that aspiration onto the organization that you currently work for, when in reality, the elevation, the promotion that you are seeking is in this business idea. Okay? I hope you're hearing what I'm saying. I feel like the elevation that you're seeking is not necessarily within this organization. You are looking to create a new role, which is a business idea. You would completely have to give up the current position that you have, which means that you're not going to be working for this company. Or maybe I'm misunderstanding. But to me, a business idea means that you have clients. Your company that you currently work for is not going to be your only client. So that means that you have to have interest, or you have to be able to transition into this business idea fully. So do you want a promotion, or are you looking to start a business? I am confused. And then I see that you're trying to marry your company with this business idea, but I don't think that it's going to work that way, because either you're going to work for them or own a business. You could do two for the same thing, but you cannot be promoting up within and running a business. A lot of times when you're running a business, it's best to stay where you are, because that means you have enough of a workload. It looks like you're wanting to add on to your workload, start a business, do a promotion. What do you want to do, my sister? For real. I understand that you're looking to do all these things, but can you really? No, you cannot. You're going to have to pick one. I don't know if I'm misunderstanding, but business idea means I'm looking to start my own business, make my own money outside of my organization. And I will utilize my organization as a client, but that's not a full role. So I don't know what you're looking to do. I think you need to clarify that for me. Let me pull another. This is another voicemail. Okay. Hi, Brandy. I'm watching the Soft Life podcast now. Thank you for everything that you do. The bank that I work for is being acquired. I've been told that I will receive a job offer letter after the acquisition has been completed. Can and how should I negotiate the offer once received? When you get that offer letter, you need to either be prepared to walk or prepared to work for what they offer you until you are able to. That is a big ass jump. All right. So if you're operating a program right now for literally a third of what they're getting ready to jump to, do you have that capacity to do that? And then when you make that offer, if it's not accepted, then are you prepared to move on? Like, do you have another job lined up? Like, I want to know, if you've had a job lined up, have you been interviewing since this acquisition is about to take place? You don't know what that offer is going to look like, if it's going to be a lot more money, or what the role is going to entail. So I always say to start interviewing in this process during an acquisition, because you don't necessarily know if you're going to mesh well with the new management team that they're going to bring in, or if they're going to keep everybody that's inside of the organization. Like, they may not even keep you. They're telling you that, oh yeah, a new offer is going to come, but it could be they just trying to get you to work until they discover that they don't really need the position. So that part I'm not clear on, but I would just interview to protect myself. I would prepare a counter offer. So base it off of what you currently make. If they offer you what you currently make, then you need to be prepared to request, if not double your salary, at least like another 20. Like, girl, that's a big ass jump. 25,000. Like, oh my God. I couldn't even imagine handling a program like that. Hello, is this Brandy? Girl. 313-242-7662. It's me, boo. Here we go. Hi, Brandy. My name is Betty because we like to keep it real secure up in this bitch. On IG, I am, we don't tell that, okay? I created the account because I had some questions concerning my job and didn't want anyone to know who I am, period. Is there a consultation fee because I have workplace questions concerning being treated unfairly? I would appreciate if you would get back to me. Thanks. So, right now, y'all, I had to pause my consults because it was just becoming too much. I would get home from work or get off of work, and I have two to three consults lined up. And I still work full time. I have kids. I got one going to driving school right now. We have to go practice today, even after we're done recording. And it's just a lot. So right now I'm not doing consults, but I would love to answer a question. If you want to email me or text me your question, I would be happy to read that. But I just cannot do consults right now. I know my capacity, and right now that is not it. Let's read our next email. This one says, please address on what to do when a supervisor is deliberately excluding you from a meeting just to lie on you. The manager and her have been friends for years before I got here. And yes, she is a Black woman like me, but the thing she is doing feels like high school Mean Girls type shit. Okay. I have worked for this company for 18 years. I just came to this department. If the manager is lying on you, you need to have some documentation of what is being said. And if you're not in the meeting, that's going to be a little hard to do, because then it comes to he said, she said. So you need to have documentation to support it if you decide to go to HR on her, or if you decide to report it, that there are like lies being told on you. And it needs to be something that is like of merit, and it has to be detrimental to you professionally when you take it to them. Okay. Do not take, well, she said I didn't say good morning. Like, don't nobody give a fuck about that. Take some real, like, documented things that people have told you, but you also need to be in there. Okay, because then it's he say, she say, and then she was like, well, I didn't say it like that, or I didn't say that. And you have to be able to be like, no, I was in the meeting, this is what was said, and XYZ. And also speak from a calm place, because I know you frustrated with her ass, so you have to be very careful about how emotional you are when talking about the situation when it comes to HR. So do not be overly emotional when you take it to them, but also make sure that you are like in a clear mind when you discuss it. You need to have documented proof that this is what was said. And the only way you can really get documented proof is you need to be present. Be careful with recording, because if you are in a state that requires both parties to consent, that may be an issue. Okay? All right. All right, y'all. Well, that was it for today, bitch. I really enjoyed that. We read like 8 things, 8 emails, text messages, listened to the reading for the voicemail. So we did a lot. If you want to send your questions over to the podcast, it's 313-242-7662. You can also send me an email at managementpod@gmail.com. For those of you who are inside of Patreon, remember we are going to be going live at 8:30 on this coming Saturday, which is January 17th. Okay, so if you are just wanting to join for the live, it's $6 to join. But just with that $6, y'all get the episodes early every single week. You get 2 lives per month, and then we also have like a little chat in there. So if you have any questions at all, please make sure you message me on Instagram, or you can join Patreon. Okay. All right. Y'all have a good ass day, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.